Hello everyone, myself Pudri. Today I came here to explain about the intrusion prevention system. Actually, what is intrusion prevention system? In this session, I am going to explain about how it works, the detection mechanisms, and types of intrusion prevention systems, and some checkpoint research and the countermeasures which were used to prevent the uh, malicious activities. Introduction. What is intrusion prevention system? Intrusion prevention system is a network security tool which can be hardware device or software that continuously monitors the network for malicious activity and takes action to prevent it, including reporting, blocking, or dropping. Actually, intrusion prevention system is a security tool, either hardware or software, which always or continuously monitors the network. If anything malicious activity or suspicious activity that has been occurred in the network, it takes an action to prevent it. Uh, the actions like reporting, blocking, dropping, and deleting the entire malicious activities and stopping that activity when it does occur. It is happened only when it has when the malicious activity, suspicious activity occurs in the network. How does an intrusion prevention system work? Actually, an intrusion prevention system is a placed inline in the flow of network traffic between the source and destination. Actually, the intrusion prevention system come into existence when the data or network traffic is from source to destination. It usually sits just behind the firewall. Here, how can you say that? When the data is transferring from source to destination, the firewall is also must be there to stop the malicious activities done by the different attackers or something anybody else. The firewall must be included. So our intrusion prevention system also included just behind the firewall to safe enhanced protection. There are several techniques that intrusion prevention systems use to identify threats. There are several techniques which we can use to identify threats. Those are signature based, anomaly based, and policy based. Here we will see what is signature based. This method matches the activity to signature of well-known threats. Actually, signature based activity or signature based prevention system is nothing but this method uh, checks the uh, threat which is already known. It means if the attack was already done in the previous or past actions that is recorded in somewhere, it checks and when it rapidly sees the threat is already known or not. If it is if the threat is known, that means it only sees that the threat is already known. It only sees the well-known threats. But and here the drawback is also is there. It only sees the previously identified attacks and won't be able to recognize new ones. And here is the anomaly based. This method monitors for abnormal behavior by comparing random samples of network. For example, a particular group of networks have been taken into the consideration to check the how the network, how the traffic is between these sample of networks. If anything suspicious activity done for a particular network, it has been separated from the network and checks and blocks the activity. Here it is more robust than signature based monitoring, but it can sometimes produce false positives. It is not 100% accurate and 100% false. It sometimes it some negation, some deviations are also there. So in future, many more advanced intrusion prevention systems, if we use artificial intelligence and machine learning technology to support this anomaly based monitoring, which is very helpful, which means it simplifies the activity and which is 100 more accurate than the previous one. And here comes the policy based. This method is somewhat less common than the signature based or anomaly based monitoring. It employs security policies defined by the enterprise and blocks the activities that violate these policies. Actually, this is different from the signature based and anomaly based. Policy based are set of rules, protocols, or instructions that can be held by the administrator. Mainly, the administrator set up the rules and policies. If anything violates those policies, the intrusion prevention come into existence and either blocks the activity or stops the activity. These are mainly done under the supervision of administrator. Here he or she have to configure the security policies under some particular guidelines. Intrusion detection or prevention mechanisms can include the following methods: address matching. For example, if the threat is already known in the previous, already known from the previous attacks, if the again the address is matching for the present attack, here the address matching will easily identify the threat and the prevention system do the according the prevention system can handle this malicious activity very easily. And HTTP string and substring matching. Here HTTP string and substring matching nothing but the malicious activity can be done from through web pages also. HTTP string and the generic pattern matching. Here generic pattern matching is when the set of attacks are done on some under particular protocols. The protocols are previously recorded and again the same protocols are the same malicious activity done are seen under same restrictions of same protocols. It can be easily identified by this generic pattern matching. And TCP connection analysis. Here TCP is nothing but transmission control protocol. Here the TCP connection analysis means it analyzes the how the connection is going on, how the information is going to exchange between the source and destination, and what type of software they are using to exchange the data in particular network. And here is the packet anomaly detection, traffic anomaly detection, and TCP or UDP port matching. Traffic anomaly detection. It is nothing but the specific amount of traffic must be there to the data from to be traveled from source to destination. If the data is traveled from source to destination, some amount of traffic is there. If the traffic is suspicious from the normal or not similar to the regular one, here the prevention systems come into existence and they will block the activity. And TCP or UDP port matching. TCP is nothing but transmission control protocol and user datagram. UDP nothing but user datagram protocol. Here some specific ports were assigned to these two TCP and UDP. For example, if the TCP is assigned to port 80 and UDP is assigned to port 60, if the ports are again matched from the previous attacks, they can easily identified by the prevention systems. There are different types of intrusion prevention systems. They are network-based, wireless, network behavior analysis, and host-based network prevention systems. Here we will see about network-based. Network-based is network-based intrusion prevention systems. Here it monitors the entire network for suspicious traffic by analyzing protocol activity. Here the network-based prevention systems checks and sees the entire network for suspicious traffic. Means if the specific amount of traffic from source to destination is not similar to the regular one under particular protocol activities and under some particular restrictions, it can be notified to the prevention systems. And here is the wireless intrusion prevention systems. Actually, wireless is also same to the network based. It is done under the here it is done under wireless. It monitors the wireless network for suspicious traffic by analyzing wireless networking protocols. Same as like network based. The difference is nothing but in network based done on the network based. In wireless network, in wireless, it checks the entire network under the rules and protocols based on the wireless network protocols. Network behavior analysis. It examines network traffic to identify threats that generate unusual traffic flows, such as distributed denial of service attacks, specific form of malware, and policy violations. Network-based network behavior analysis is nothing but every network has some particular behavior, like some sort of traffic and some sort of protocols and some sort of services that have to be done in the network from source to destination. If these services or the attacks are if these services are not done properly, some any malicious activity or malware that have been disturbing them, the policy violations have been disturbed. So the network behavior analysis identify these types of errors and inform to the prevention systems, and it will take care this take care of the situations. And host-based intrusion prevention systems. It is an inbuilt software package which operates a single host for doubtful activity for scanning events that occur within that host. Host-based is nothing but it is an inbuilt software package which operates a single host for doubtful activity by scanning events that occur within the host. Here, the events that have to be the scanning events which can be occur only within the host. For example, when we see the security applications hit in a computer, it only scan through the computer, only in a particular single host or single PC. It scans it scans the hardware and software. It scans the hardware only to the particular host. That is host-based prevention systems. As part of this session, here we can see some checkpoint research. From checkpoint research, we have known that we came to the conclusion that every year cyber attacks are increased to 50% year by year. Mainly the attacks were based on the most attacked sector in the cyber attacks were the education and research sectors. Here we can see this from the graph. Here are some different kinds of graphs that are about the industrial cyber attacks from 2014 to 29, which is worldwide. From intrusion to detection and detection to containment and intrusion containment. As we see here, it is decreasing from year to year and not as high as from 2014 to 2019. And we see the intrusion to detection also. It is rapidly decreasing, not rapidly, decreasing to the decreasing to the least. And we see about the detection to containment. If we see the detection to containment, it's almost less when compared to 2014 to 2019. Average weekly attacks by industry wise. As we already mentioned that education and research sector is the most attacked sector in the cyber attacks, as we see from the average weekly attacks by uh, from a research, which is every day increasing by 75%. And here next come the next most attack sector is government or military, which is rapidly increasing to 47% every year and every week. And from later communications, which is 51% increase to previous analysis, and ISP or MSP, and next healthcare and distributor and so on. What are the intrusion and counter measures? Some set of measures we have to take to stop these malicious activities and to stop these attacks, which can be done by individuals also. In that, the main one is changing the security environment. For example, by configuring a firewall to increase protections against previously unknown vulnerabilities. For example, if any vulnerabilities already done on our servers or systems in previously. We have to configure the firewall and firewall settings according to that vulnerabilities, because if we upgrade our firewall settings and protocols, then we can stop those type of vulnerabilities which may not be happen in future. And changing the attacks content, for example, by replacing otherwise malicious at parts of an email like false links with warnings about the deleted content. We have to mainly take care, or have to very, for example, by replacing otherwise malicious parts of an email. Here we have to take care while opening the unknown emails which are replaced by the different types of company logos by the attackers. If we unknowingly click those links, those links are filled with malicious codes and different types of files. They are automatically downloaded to our systems. We have to be careful on that. And sending automated alarms to system administrators and notifying them of possible security breaches. By installing some different types of CCTV cameras and different types of alarms to the compounds and different types of alarms set to the servers when vulnerabilities or malicious activity is done, they will send some sort of notifications to the administrator or to the customer who are using it. Dropping detected malicious packets. When the different types of malicious packets are identified or detected, they have to be dropped, or they have to be deleted from the network. Resetting a connection every for every frequent of times. For example, if the network is very high and load is very heavy load, we have to reset the connection for frequent times. By that, we can avoid these types of malicious activities and different types of attacks. Blocking traffic from the offending IP address. If we if we are under such a, if we are using our system under some network or within the university network, those we have some different type of IP addresses were allocated to us from the router. We don't connect to the different types of IP address which are not included in the network. If anything, new IP address was if anything new IP address or any new connection have to be, if you connect to those new IP addresses, which are very prone to attacks, we have to avoid them. We have to connect only to the specific IP address which were given to us during the universities or any campus or any colleges or any offices. Summary: the ability to prevent intrusions through an automated action without requiring IT intervention means lower cost and greater performance and flexibility. Cyber attacks will only become more sophisticated, so it is important that protection technology adapt along with their threats. So, from every attack, we have to learn something. So, if the attack is already previously attacked on the system, it won't be happen in future. We have to learn from the mistakes and we have to rectify them. In future, the technology will improve according to that. So it is very easy if the technology was automatically updated from the previous attacks on stops the malicious activities in present and future. Thank you.